Coaches love to see your eyes when they're talking to you. You can make your coach coach you better just by giving them eye contact. Whether you play for a coach that you don't like and you don't think is very good, or whether you play for a coach that you really respect and you really think is a great coach, doesn't matter. You can make your coach coach you better just by giving them eye contact. And this is another thing, one of those things that good coaches will demand. Again, going back to the Duke practices that I've seen with Coach K, he has a team rule. Whenever there's a group huddle and he's talking to the whole team at once, the rule on the team is every person, when it's any coach, not just the head coach, but any of his assistants as well, whenever a coach is talking, everybody's got to stand where they can see the coach's eyes and he can see their eyes. And you don't see that at most practices. I mean, at most practices you go to. In fact, I saw it today in our gym session this afternoon. We had a team huddle and one of the coaches was talking, and there's some people just kind of looking around or playing with their shirt or tossing the ball around or maybe whispering on the back row. That's typically what you see at a typical team's practice, but you don't see that at Coach K's practice. Every guy gets somewhere where they can see his eyes and he can see their eyes. And if he moves, they move. So they can be sure to make eye contact. And I remember being at one of his practices a few years ago when Sean Dockery was still on the team. And there was a moment in that practice where the guys were going full court and Coach K pulled Sean Dockery over to the side. And he talked to him for about 30 or 60 seconds. And I couldn't hear what he was saying to Sean because I was sitting up in the stands, but whatever it was, it took him about 30 to 60 seconds to say it. And the thing that jumped out at me about that exchange is that for that full 30 to 60 seconds, Sean Dockery never broke eye contact with Coach K the whole time. He's looked, yes, sir, okay, yes, sir, for 30 to 60 seconds. And if you think about it, that's kind of a long time. So when Coach K was done saying whatever it was he was saying, Sean said, okay, got you. And he hustled off and did whatever it was that Coach K asked him to do. And after I saw that, I thought to myself a couple of things. The first thing I thought was that I imagined that Coach K probably felt pretty good about that interaction. He probably felt pretty good that Sean was taking in what he had to say. And the second thing that made me think about was I imagined that, let's say later in that season, it was the end of a close game, and Coach K was trying to decide who to put in the game, to entrust with some important defensive assignment. My guess is he would probably feel pretty good about going with a guy like Sean, because when you give that kind of eye contact to your coach, it builds trust. As a coach, just to give you a little insight into what it feels like to be a coach, whenever you're talking to a kid and he or she is kind of looking down at the ground or they're kind of walking away from you while you're talking, first of all, as a coach, it makes you pretty reluctant to say anything else to that player because you're not really sure that they got the other stuff that you told them. It sort of feels like a waste of your time and energy. And the other thing that it does when a player is walking away from you, it makes you not really trust them very much because it doesn't really seem like the interpretation is that you're not listening. The interpretation is that you don't care about what they have to say. So you can make your coach coach you better just by giving them eye contact. You can build trust from your coach just by giving them eye contact. Players that are mentally tough pride themselves in being mentally prepared for any circumstance, for any situation. They don't complain about petty problems. As a matter of fact, they welcome petty problems. They go into a game and they say, it's hot in here? Excellent. Balls doesn't have enough air in it? Great. We got bad referees tonight? Terrific. Because in their mind, those are the kind of petty problems that their opponent is going to get caught up in.